my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel, and today is going to be my TBR for the Trans Girl April readathon, which is an amazing readathon being hosted by the gorgeous Kevvie from Say Kevvie and Willow from Books and Bow. Both of those channels links below, and also I'll link the announcement video from Kevvie's announcement video for this readathon because it's got just a lot more information etc in it. Right, so before I get into what books I'm going to be reading and the prompts and things, there is a prompt 0, which is obviously to denounce fascism and pledge your support to trans people across social media. Like, we should be doing this all the time, obviously. So, but yes, so it is important. It's super important. So yeah, obviously. The picks for, so the group books for this readathon, there's 2 group books. They are Any Other City by Hazel Plante, and also Felix Ever After by Kacen Callender. So those are the 2 group books. I do own one of them if I have time, etc. Which I'll show you which one it is in a minute. I have time, I'll try and get to the other one. So there's a grid which I'll put on screen. No, like kind of on screen. There's a prompt grid which I'll put on screen. It's very easy. The main big part of this readathon is obviously to read books by trans and non-binary authors, which is obviously what we all should be doing again all year round anyway. More than, but this is a great readathon to just like focus on all of that stuff. So I'll go through. So what I'll do is I'll go through the books I have. I've just got like a big pile of possibilities. This is how I'm going to be doing this. I don't know which books I'm going to get to, so I've just got like a massive pile of books, and we'll see how we go. Some of which I'm currently might be currently reading, etc, etc. Right, for the because basically how it's divided into, you've got trans man, trans woman, and non-binary, and then you've got genre fiction, fiction, and non-fiction. So basically it's like the opportunity to kind of read 9 books, or like that's the kind of deal. You don't have to read 9 books, obviously. As long as you read 1 book, you're participating in the readathon, obviously, but this is just to guide people so that they are reading a variety of voices, etc. So for in trans man genre fiction, I think I've got The Passing Playbook by Issac Simmons. I think this is like a romance surrounding sport. It's on my Kindle. It's been on my Kindle for a little while. I think it's one I sort of have dipped my toes into, and then I just haven't finished it for whatever reason. For fiction, I've also got Magical Boy by Boy The Kao. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a gorgeous cover. It's like a graphic novel. It's one I want to get to. For non-fiction, I have got Transmission by Bertie. This was in the like YA section of my library, and yeah, it's basically Alex's story. So, and it's obviously written in a very easy, accessible format. So yeah, I've kind of like flicked into it, and yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's just easy. It's not super text heavy, so even though it's like nearly 300 pages, it should be quite an easy one to sort of get through. So that's that one. So I definitely want to get to this one, obviously, as with, I don't want to get to all of these. So for trans women, I have got, for the trans women like section of the board, I have got God Loves Hair by Vivek Shraya. I think this is like a very, very short like audio book that I've got on Scribd. It's like, I think it's only like maybe less than 2 hours, so it should be quite an easy one to get to. I've also got in the fiction category Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This one has been quite a popular book at the moment. Lots of people are talking about it. I have started reading this already, but it's quite chunky, so you know, and also I've been quite a slow reader, so I probably won't have finished this by the 1st of April. But anyway, I want to plonk this in here just in case anyway. I've also got Sovereign by April Daniels. This can go into genre fiction, I think, because it's kind of like sci-fi, and it's I've read the first one of this in this like series, and anyway, I'll put the image of the first one in the series, because Sovereign is the second one in the series. Yeah, so I'll put the picture of the first one on screen. Yeah, and so that's that. I've also non-fiction, pile of possibilities. I've also got this out from the library. This is another one I've been wanting to get to for ages. It's Trans Britain, Our Journey from the Shadows by Christine Burns. I think this is relatively new release. It came out a couple of years ago. Trans Britain chronicles this journey in the words of those who were there to witness a marginalised group develop into the visible phenomenon that we see today. Here is everything you always wanted to know about the background of the trans community but never knew how to ask. So yeah, it's kind of like one of those sort of essential reads. So yeah, that's that. I've also, for non-fiction, I've also got Spellbound by Bishakh Soh, who's an Indian-American author. And I think, yes, this is another one that's on Scribd. So if I can, I'll try and get to that one as well. So for the non-binary section of this video, I've got, in fiction, I've got The Many Half-Lived Lives of Sam Sylvester by Macgregor. They are an autistic non-binary author, I believe. So obviously that's just like an extra, so for like important representation. And I think it's kind of, again, this is kind of like sci-fi, so I'm putting it into the genre fiction category, I would think. But I'm super excited to get to this one. This one's another one that I've owned for a little while. I think maybe I bought it at the end of last year, or I don't know, a little while ago. But again, I'm excited to get to it. So I've also got on my TBR pile, if I can, The Moonflower by Kacen Callender. I love Kacen Callender's books. I've read a few by them before. And yeah, this is like, I think this is like one of their newer, I think it's YA, but it's another new release from them. I've also got, I want to read The Deep by River Solomon. I've read a few of River Solomon books before again, and this is the only one that I think that I haven't read by them. So yeah, and that's sci-fi as well. So speaking of familiar authors, I've also got Dear Senthuran to read by Akwaeke. This is their memoir, I believe, and again, it's one that I think did it come out last year? Quite recently, and it's one it's on Scribd, and I'm going to try and get to it, obviously. I've also got, so yeah, that's obviously non-fiction, sorry, going into non-fiction. And also, in terms of I'm jumping the categories a bit, so sorry. Short stories by a non-binary author. I've got Rainbow by Lydia Conklin, and they are an American author, I believe. And yeah, this is one I bought with my mum. Was it last year? The year before? When did I buy it? A little while ago. I have started this, and I've marked all the stories out. So yeah, it'd just be good. I thought short stories would be a good thing to like dip in and out of. Right, and then I'm going to head to talk to you about my rereads. So if I can, then I'm going to try and reread some books. And these are all by non-binary authors. So I have got Princess by Kay O'Neill. They are the author of the Tea Dragon Society. I know loads of people would have heard of the Tea Dragon Society, but they've also done this one, which is it's a queer like love story, and it's super cute and super short and just gives you all the warm feels. So I'm super excited to reread this one. I feel like this will be quite an easy one to reread. I've also got, in terms of poetry, Don't Call Us Dead by Danez Smith. Danez Smith is an amazing poet, and this is my favourite collection by them, and there's some really, really powerful words in. I know Kevvie has read out some of their poetry, so if I can try and find that, I'll link that video in the description. So for fiction, like I said, more fiction rereads. If I can get to a reread of Felix Ever After, then I will. This is again, I know loads of you will know, YA romance. The next book that I'm going to try and reread is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I also have the audiobook of this, which I highly, highly recommend. So if you can't get hold of the physical copy, then head to the audiobook, because the narrator of the audiobook is amazing. I think actually the narrator of their book of Cemetery Boys narrates a lot of Aiden Thomas's books. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. And this is just, oh, I just love this so much. I cannot wait to reread this. Like, even if I don't read this, reread this month, not this month, but even if I don't reread this in April, I really want to reread this year. So it's definitely due. It's definitely time. So. And the same with The Death of Vivek Odi by Akwaeke Emezi. I love Akwaeke Emezi. Akwaeke Emezi, like, as you probably will be able to tell, is like one of my favourite authors. Like, I've read the majority of the books that they have published, and this one is my favourite anyway. This is my favourite, Pet, actually. I also love Pet. This and Pet are my favourite books by Akwaeke Emezi. So, let me know, are you joining in Trans Girl April? Let me know in the comments below. Also, tell me how you're getting on, how you are, what you're reading, all the usual kind of stuff. Sending you guys lots of love. And don't forget to check out Kevvie and Willow's channels in the description. Take care. Goodbye.